Hello and welcome back to the Scale SaaS podcast, the show where we bring entrepreneurs who aren't just building companies, they're building what comes next. Today is a big one because in the world of SaaS, e-commerce, fintech, crypto, property firms, almost nobody talks about the thing we are discussing today. It's payments. Not the sexy part, not the fun part, but the part where 3% to 7% of your revenue quietly dies every month. And you have no idea. And there is one man who knows this better than anyone. Razi Salih, CEO of Paytiko, a company with 500 plus PSP partners, merchants in every continent, and one mission: stop revenue leaks founder don't even know exist. Razi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ali. You made such a nice introduction that you presented the whole concept. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me and hosting me. Indeed, it's a very niche market, and I am glad here to be representative of this market.
Right. So, Razi, let's go straight into it. Every founder talks about customer acquisition cost. They talk about marketing funnels, but no one talks about payment approval rates. So tell me, why do founders miss the fact that 3% to 7% of their revenue is leaking because of failed payments, routing, errors, and PSP downtime?
Yes, we have a say in Arabic: if you have a winning horse, you don't change it. That's the common usage of business owners today, as we witness. They say, okay, I have my solution in the processing, and I don't see a sense of why we can use it for orchestration, this is the biggest mistake. There is no one perfect payment gateway or acquire or solution that can give the business all the solution in one place. This is where
Right.
orchestration come in essence, and offer all the payments to be handed for you with a single integration. That means if you are working in the GCC area, you know that the Saudi market works differently than the UAE market. So
Yeah.
for you to find the one single solution that give you access to all this market, all these countries, is almost impossible. This is how solution like orchestration comes in place and can help you to increase your payments. Now, the business owners who are oriented in analytics and numbers, when they go in the dashboard, they can understand from a quick review from the dashboard what we offer in Paytiko or in their payment dashboard. They can see what is missing, why there is a lot of decline transaction. Is it insufficient funds? Is it not supported? This is how they can learn about their behavior and adjust their strategy accordingly.
Very insightful indeed. So people love stories. Give me a real story where a company lost millions because their payment setup was wrong.
Well, Ali, I have to say that every case that we have is a story. That's what orchestration is about. We are active in many verticals, and the biggest gainers are the one who their margin model is very small. So, I can say of a big voucher or merchant that was thinking that he got it all and he covered every aspect of payments until he used Paytiko, because we can link him, we can link him to local solution that have a lower cost and international solution to expand global wise. It's not only that, but we can provide beyond the credit card processing, beyond the traditional one. We don't compete with credit cards. They are our partners, but we also would like to present the crypto processing, the alternative payment methods that they have for every market, the embedded finance models that going very, very good, pay now, pay later partners that we also having in our network. Every single component of those are adding a few percent your approval ratio and collection ratio, make you optimize to the maximum your payment flow.
So in terms of regions. People don't know this, but in GCC, Latin Africa, you just talk about the failure rates. It can hit 30 to 40% without proper routing. Why does this happen?
It's true. It's because there is no synchronization between the banks in this region. Every bank and every acquirer are operated separately. So if you compare this to European market, you can see that 28 countries are aligned under one umbrella, under one rules, one policies, and competition as the same. While it's very separated, when you look at Africa or GCC, it's every country is separated from the other.
Right.
And when such a setup is built, it's very difficult to make a competition. Very challenging to find the right banking and partners makes your processing more efficient and lower. And this
Right.
is something I have discovered, when I moved to UAE, we have understood that there is a need for a strategy for every country because none of them has alliance like the GCC.
Right. Okay. Now, when I talk to a lot of founders, I hit the painful truth. Founders, most of them, whether they are residing in US, UK, or even in GCC, they love Stripe. But global benchmark shows no gateway gives more than 85 to 90% approval, as you just mentioned. Why relying on one PSP a growth bottleneck once you cross of 1 million plus annual revenue?
Yes. So I will start saying that Stripe is one of the partners we have in Paytiko. We work very good together, and it's also one of the good selling point that we have for Paytiko because Stripe is actually the easiest gateway to open account and onboard and start processing. It's have a lot of automation. The flow is very easy, convenient for a clients who have experience and non-experience. That it has a lot of integration with all the
Hmm.
platform, the e-commerce platform, the big platform, the small platforms, and makes it very easy as a combination. Where using Stripe become tricky is when you start, processing higher amounts, then it trigger lots of automation of KYC checks, and that's happened a lot with businesses that they stood without no solution because there is a due diligence going in their account, and this is where they hit them that okay, I made a mistake by using only one PSP. How I should make my backup in a way that it won't happen again.
Right.
And I have to say that there is a lot of decent players in the market that we work with, and they can give a very perfect alternative to along with the Stripe. Okay, we are
Hmm.
not here to push or promote anyone, but being in a case that you have a diversity of solutions, allowing you not to shut down the business, but okay, you have a due diligence, you have a question, it's a normal, especially when you go a certain threshold. Let's move on to the backup until we figure that out. So
Right.
from business point of view, it's very easy to launch with a Stripe. However, it could be sometimes tricky, and it's advised to have at least 3 to 4 solutions as a backup.
Yeah, that's a perfect advice, especially for the startups. Now, Ravi, you interact with a lot of startups. So, what's one payment mistake that instantly expose a startup as not ready to scale? What's your thought process when you interact with them and you find out that the payment structure is not there or their strategy is not there?
So it's very important point because lots of from acquirers or payment gateway point of view, they don't want startups. They don't want the risk of having onboarding startup because they are too small for them. They don't have a history. They haven't developed the trust relationship with how they process, if the chargeback ratio, what the countries, and this is the challenge that we see for small businesses and startups. Now, it's the best way to overcome this is a go-to-market payment strategy. That means to find the right partner who knows 100% about your product, about your targets, about your projection, the growth. The more you have a transparent and open relationship with your payment processor, the better will be the relationship. Because if you share that from the beginning, this is how I'm small, this is how I will grow, this is my plan, this is my investment. And of course, all these payments are there's all type of them. Some of them are not even interested to work with you under the 500,000 processing volume. Some of them, that's where Paytiko also comes to help and say, okay, instead of wasting your time of applying and chasing all these big players who are not interested in small risk and businesses, those are the listed payment solution that we can help you and approval ratio accordingly. So go-to-market strategy is very important.
Very
Diversity,
important.
not only, and the crypto processing is something that has been recently getting traction and mainstream, and which is 100%, at least I advise to have one solution of crypto processing for any startup. That's how I see it from my point of view.
Right. Very, very insightful, and I cannot agree more. You previously you also talked about orchestration. To be honest, not many people are familiar with this term. So
Yes.
if you have to explain this term to me and assume that I'm a 10-year-old, how would you explain it?
Simply, I have a 10 years old kid, so it's a perfect scenario. And they ask me about my job all the time. And
Ah.
so I tell them one sentence. Paytiko is a cable that help power all kinds of devices. We can make everything in the payment linked to one place and helping businesses to collect their funds.
Right, right, right. That's a very simple way to explain the concept. Right. Okay. So then, what makes Paytiko different from other gateways, and why are companies choosing you instead of building in-house? So why they should go for Paytiko?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And doesn't matter how big your size it is, you will never be able to achieve a full coverage of your business in a dedicated way how the orchestration business done it. Because our model is built to stack of years of development of integration and market coverage, but it's a specified dedicated development for the payment side. So we as a Paytiko, we always put in our shoulder the sign of being innovative and taking these two steps ahead. We are positioned ourselves in a very good location that we can understand the trends of the industry and see what is the best thing and achieve it. This is how we are been launching recently all the Grow Hub, which is based in AI subscription engine hub, and lots of feature that allow us in the location we are at Paytiko to maneuver and learn what the challenges and find solution for them from our point of view of working in all these markets. We work in, we have our partners across Europe, Latin America, North America, Asia, Africa, Middle East, Turkey, Australia, any market you can name it. And that's something was gathered and built with a lot of long experience, but also innovative approach of doing things in a very efficient way.
Right.
So for the companies who are developing or want to develop the in-house, I would say, I always like challenges and competition. In reality, it is something very, very challenging.
Right. Yeah, I can
The
totally.
last thing I will mention, it's the cost-wise. Our model in Paytiko allows which is something that set industry standards in terms of charging and fees. Most of the other competitors, they are adding transaction fees, volume, packages. We don't want to be there. We are a simply SaaS service provider, charge a fixed fees monthly. We don't care if you make tens of millions of billions. We are here to support you. Our fees will never change, and
Right.
that's it. Because this is something we suffered as a old merchants with such a services, you know. So
So irrespective of the volume of the transaction, you charge the flat fees.
no, a flat fee. We never volume is not a component for our fees. We have an agreement. We charge you a fixed fees according to that agreement, and will never change or will be changed.
Very nice. So I would say that your global coverage, your efficiency, and your cost effectiveness is your unique value proposition, right?
Indeed.
Uh, okay. So let's talk about the local market. Uh, Many companies, global companies, they enter the UAE and fail because they don't understand the payment landscape. UAE approval rates can drop by 10 to 25% if founders use or US gateways. Why do global founders get wrong about the GCC?
So I think it would start and end with localizing their entity and the legal structure, because UAE market is designed to accept and approve and give a better services for local entities. This is something that we have shown and experienced with companies coming from international, and they try to get a processing company unless they have the same relationship with the international business unit of the payment gateway and the local business unit. In some cases, this is exists in UAE because you have some major payment gateways and acquirers that have a both presence locally and globally. That will help to certain level. But the most important thing is to prepare a legal structure that works to serve and get approved by the compliance department of the local payment gateways.
Right. And we also know that UAE is now processing 50 billion plus of online payments with 90% digital adoption. What do you think? Why is the UAE becoming the perfect testing ground for next gen payment tech?
The government support and the ecosystem that was built in the country help a highly competition to be at this market simply because there is less bureaucracy and simply efficiency measured by efficiency and performance that support the growth that we can see in UAE, which is not something you see if you compare other
Hmm.
continent. Let's call it UAE looks at things from efficiency point of view, and it helps innovation to be supported in big time. I can say this also. If you notice that the crypto adaptation recently, it's becoming mainstream by the UAE government, and it helps to boost businesses locally. This is a reflection of governance and innovation reflection. When you, as a company, see that you have a friendly ecosystem to support this, that makes things easier for you. And yes.
That's right. So honestly, I think Dubai is like Silicon Valley for fintech, but
Indeed.
faster, friendlier, and more execution focused. So I agree. Okay, so let's debunk some myths now. So, what is the biggest payment myth founders believe that is completely false?
Um, the fact that it's working and I don't need to break it. When a payment when a business owner see that it's a processing, he's a collection, it's everything. There is nothing we can do or you can do to make it better. Then I think it's the biggest mistake from our end because there always will be there always will be a need of you can do better. There always will be how you can optimize. That's why we have our logo is optimize and evolve. can always optimize, you can always evolve. It's endless. There's no one payment solution that cover you all your needs. There is no one payment method cover you all the channels. There is no payment partner that can give you only what do you need. They're always, and the one who goes in the details, those are the one who are really, we can see the success reflected immediately in their performance.
Right. I love your comments. Now, so what is one controversial opinion you have about the payment industry that most
Okay.
people would disagree with?
So I can see from partner's point of view, the more that the company become bigger, the less efficient it become, which is, by theoretically it shouldn't be.
Right.
I use not everything shine is gold. Lots of companies you see they grow and you see they are developing and they are the ability to implement a healthy acceptance protocols, a healthy grow, a scaling. That's the one who succeed. But that's something rarely done by big partners. End of the day, they have shareholders. They need to serve them, and it's not sometimes it's not met with how you can help your clients to grow with you.
Right. Okay. So here's the last question, and this one is more about the future. What do you think? What's coming in the next 3 years that will shock the founders?
I think a combination of payments with AI, ideally crypto with AI, that would be the next payment generation. I can see that the blockchain is getting adopted not only by GCC and UAE, but global wide. We can see that in Europe there is a MiCA implementation coming to enhance crypto legislation, which means it will make crypto more mainstream and more friendly with the banking. Stable coins will definitely take a big part of this expansion, acting as currency, a currency that pegged with a certain value of USD or dollar, along with using the blockchain as a network. That's, I think, will be a very successful combination. So the mainstream is going to the crypto processing, and it make competition better because the rails are faster. It's immediate. The smart contracts building this the transparency.
Right.
So definitely a combination of what we see in crypto mainstream and AI combination of suiting the payment and customize it to your need. That's something we'll see in the next few years.
Okay. And here comes another question from another friend of mine. So he's also a SaaS founder. So if a founder wants to fix one thing this month to improve revenue by 10 to 15% instantly, what should they optimize in their payment stack?
So first of all, they need to add more payment methods and cascading. The moment you add the second option, the third option, it's immediately you can see everything changing, and it's something you cannot see unless you try. And this is something that we have always tried to educate. When you came to the Middle East, especially to UAE, open the UAE office, the biggest challenge was explaining what orchestration does, how it works. So it was a long path of education to the customers to understand this. The second thing is learn about your decline ratio, the transactions. Yes, when you look at the transaction, you can understand what is missing. Is it the market who needs solution? If you're getting declines from South African or African clients, then that means you need to look for African solution to give you a issue. Is it, it will give you a lot of insight about what you need to fix simply from learning. And we have developed a Grow Hub that it gives you a AI-based data learning of what you should do in order to enhance this at Paytiko. So in one button.
So basically, you have already founded the knowledge base, so people can access it and can learn from it. So Razi, it was such an enjoyable session. You provided a lot of insight. If founders want to connect with you or your company, how can they reach you out? And which social media platform do you use?
Thank you for having me, Ali. It was a great honor and I enjoyed it a lot. I'm very active in all channels, but you can find me in LinkedIn. You can go directly to the website paytiko.com and apply for the form. One of the agents, depends on your geolocation, will definitely reach out. But if you want me directly, you can find me on LinkedIn, Razi Salih, and I would be glad to assist. Again, thank you for this opportunity. And
So
have a nice
Razi,
one.
this was powerful. As I mentioned, that I really loved it. And those founders who are listening, you can rewind this episode and take notes. If payments are the last step of your funnel and you're not optimizing them, you're not scaling, you're actually leaking. Also share this episode with other founders. You might save them 7% of revenue today. See you
Indeed.
in the next episode.
Thank you.